Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm Jared Blotto with Diamond Brothers Insurance, and this presentation will be covering the open enrollment for 2026. Whether you've been through these meetings or not, I like to remind everybody that we spend the entire year monitoring our employee benefits package. The leadership team and Diamond Brothers spend a lot of time on this throughout the year, and even more time in the third and fourth quarter analyzing how the plans are going. We analyze the cost, we analyze the plan provisions, we analyze the network, along with your ancillary benefits like dental, vision, life insurance, and the rest of the coverages. And although we spend a lot of time on analyzing this, some years there are not many changes that come out of all of it because things are going well. This is one of those years, which we will talk about more in the upcoming slides. As a reminder, though, this is your open enrollment, so now is the time to make changes for the upcoming year. If you do not make changes now, you have to have a qualifying event like marriage, birth, death, divorce, or change of job. So make the changes now and do not make HR have to tell you no when mid-year you just decide you want to make changes because you didn't get around to making them during the open enrollment. As for the open enrollment, we will be using the same system we've used in the past, which is called EASE, and we will cover that more at the end. As you can see on this slide, we're excited to announce that there are no plan changes, meaning no change in deductible, out-of-pocket maximum, network, stuff like that to your health insurance, and also minimal increases to the employee contributions. To add a little commentary to this, it's been a very difficult year for the majority of our other groups who are seeing large increases. So we're excited to have minimal increases of around 2 to 3%, depending on your coverage status and plan choice. We know some of the partnerships can add extra steps, but we have in my opinion, purposely difficult healthcare and pharmaceutical system in our country that is set up to try to get people to blindly go through the system and not take the extra steps that can get people better care for a more reasonable price. So great job. As mentioned previously, the plan options will stay the same. There is a $4,000 deductible HSA, which stands for Health Savings Account plan, and also a $5,000 deductible HSA plan. Within each of these plans, you have two network choices. So as listed on the $4,000 deductible plan, the core network is the lower cost network, and the Choice Plus network is more expensive, but it also has more in-network options. It's the more comprehensive network. The majority of people are on the core network because it still is a very large nationwide network, but there may be a few less hospital systems or physicians systems and clinics within the core network. The $5,000 deductible plan is the lowest cost option, with the core network being the lowest option of the four that are listed here. The next four slides show the rates for the different plans, and you can see the breakdown between employee only, employee spouse, employee child, or family. So here's the breakdown on the core network $4,000 deductible plan, showing the rates from 2025 and what they will increase to in 2026. These are the rates for the Choice network on the $4,000 deductible plan. Here are the 2025 and 2026 rates for the core network $5,000 deductible plan. And finally, the Choice network $5,000 deductible plan, showing the rates in 2025 and 2026. This slide is too detailed for me to go through all of the numbers on it, but I just wanted to point out a few things. First, this is a screenshot of a document that you have access to when you go through the online enrollment system that gives a lot more detail about the $4,000 or $5,000 deductible plans. So just to point out a couple quick things on here, the $4,000 deductible plan is the more expensive of the two plans, and it gives you a $4,000 deductible and then 0% coinsurance.
meaning that everything is covered after that. The only thing that is covered first dollar is preventive care. So your annual exams or your physical, you can see on here, it's no charge for either of those, even though this is considered a qualified high deductible health plan, which gives you the ability to put money into a health savings account or an HSA. But that is the case on both of these plans. You have preventive care is a $0 charge to go, again, for your annual exam or your physical. But other than that, your benefits go towards your deductible, which on the first plan is $4,000, and then it's covered at 100% after that. And the second plan option, the $5,000 deductible plan, has 20% co-insurance after the first $5,000 until you've spent $6,350 out of pocket for the year. And I am concentrating on the in-network benefits, so that's important to understand. Your out-of-network benefits are not good. There are no plans set up like this that have great out-of-network benefits because the purpose is to incentivize you to go in-network, and there are plenty of in-network options where you should not have an issue being able to go in-network. The issue with going out-of-network is you do not have a true out-of-pocket maximum when you go out-of-network. We put on here not a true max for the out-of-pocket maximum because, again, we want people to understand that if you go out-of-network, you have no protection for that out-of-network charge. They can charge you whatever they want. So, again, that's just a quick recap of this slide, and there are more details on this page and other pages like this in ease in the documents section. The next several slides are dedicated to the partnerships that we have, and the next few are about UMR. So UMR is our third-party administrator that administers the claims. It is owned by United Healthcare. So more people may know the insurance as United Healthcare. Like if you are showing your ID to a provider, they will look at the United Healthcare network and be very familiar with your insurance. But again, UMR is technically the one that is the third-party administrator doing the administration of your claims. So on the next few slides, I want to point out a few things about UMR. On this slide, we show the provider search and cost transparency tool, and there's just a few stats here. So if I was in person, as I do every year, I would ask, who has used the cost estimator on UMR's website? And inevitably, I get like 0 people raising their hand, maybe 1 every once in a while. So if I were to ask that question in person and we have some people raise your hand, that's amazing. Hopefully these talks are working. But to everyone, we want to encourage you to use the cost transparency tool that is available within UMR, and because of United Healthcare's resources, they are able to allow you guys to do more research on your own to figure out who to go to, the cost of that provider, and also how well they do at it. You don't need to count on the really reliable source that we know as Facebook, to go and throw it out there. Hey, does anybody know a doctor for a certain procedure or a surgeon or whatever? You can use tools within UMR's resources. There's a quick stat here that I like to point out. Members who compare cost before receiving care pay 36% less. Members are twice as likely to compare cost when they're part of a provider search tool. So if you will go on UMR and search for a provider, you can also get data on the cost and quality of that provider. This document is available within ease, but this is the screenshot of the exact document showing you how to compare the cost, and it gives the detailed instructions how to get started. Basically, you're going to want to register in UMR's website, and then it will help you get to the prompt to be able to, again, find cost and care, and you select the health cost estimator like it shows at the bottom here. This is page 2 of one of the documents that is available in the online enrollment system, EASE. As I've mentioned before, there's so many documents in there that should be helpful to you. But this one shows the screenshots of how to use the cost estimator and what it will actually look like. I know you can't see it that well on here, but this shows search for a service. So for me, I love tearing my ACL, my meniscus. I love messing up my knee. So I have a knee replacement surgery in the future. I would go on here and I would search knee replacement. Then it will give me, in the bottom left corner, you can see quickly view cost estimates based on your location and the provider's network affiliation. So it will actually give cost for that service that I'm looking up. Then on the right side, you can see I will be able to actually search for certain doctors, certain surgeons, and I can look up detailed information about how good they are at said service. We have no idea that you could have 6 different surgeons in a provider system, and 1 or 2 of them may not be that good, or 3 or 4 of them may not be that good. So this will help you search for a surgeon within that provider system, or you may want to look outside of the provider system that your primary care physician is a part of. So this gives more details on how to do all of that. The next few slides I will go over very quickly, but these are just additional partnerships that we have built into your health insurance plan. One of the main partnerships that we want to always reinforce to you is our PBM. That stands for Pharmacy Benefit Manager. And in our case, we work with SmithRx. SmithRx is a very innovative PBM. A lot of the PBMs out there are not innovative. And this is where I will consistently point out that our pharmaceutical industry is messed up in our country. Big Pharma has it set up where they don't want people to be educated on how to get meds for a better cost, for the lowest net cost possible. So SmithRx is the one that helps us do that. In most cases, people are not going to have any different experience than what you've had from past PBMs before we moved to SmithRx. You will go to the pharmacy, you will pick up your prescription just like you have in the past. Now, you may not know that you're getting better pricing on that because they use GoodRx or one of the other discount cards out there. But in most cases, again, you will not know or experience any type of a difference. There are cases, though, where if you're on a very expensive medication, they have programs designed to help you and to help the plan as a whole to save money and get that prescription for the lowest net cost. So there may be a little bit more work involved for those expensive prescriptions, but we just have to understand that there are prescriptions out there that are $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, even into the millions now. There are literally prescriptions that cost $1 million per year, $2 million per year. There's one that was released that's around $3.5 million per year. So we want people to have access to these specialty prescriptions. However, we just have to realize that there may be programs out there that SmithRx is going to help us have access to that can get us those prescriptions for the lowest net cost. So again, if they reach out to you, please reach back out to them and participate in their programs. Another one of our partnerships that we want to consistently communicate information about is the KissX card, which it has been purchased by Valens Health, so they've got some kind of rebranding going on, but you can think of it as the KissX card. It's the same that we've used in the past, where for common surgeries, common imaging, or procedures, you can use this service, this company, and get it at no cost to you. You call the 800 number that is listed here, and for the common procedures listed below there, you will be able to access these procedures and go through their process and get this for free. So again, we want to promote this. It is to help you get procedures for lower cost, and these are validated providers that we know do a good job on these procedures. We have additional partnership that I'll mention just briefly. It is called Cancer Care, and as the name mentions, if you are diagnosed with cancer, you would want to get cancer care involved. So we've got the 800 number here and an email address. Hopefully we have minimal use of this, but we know that cancer is very prevalent in our society and it costs a lot. It is confusing to get the right level of care. So this program is put in place to be able to help people if you are diagnosed with cancer to have additional help in that circumstance. Another partnership we want to remind people of is for our telemedicine visits. So we use Teladoc for our telemedicine visits, which telemedicine is the ability to call in, or you can download the app and do a video chat with a doctor for some of the most common procedures that people would typically go or could go to an urgent care or an ER for. But they're actually able to be covered over the phone or, again, a video chat with a doctor. You can have a prescription prescribed. So they say about 70% of the things that we would go to an urgent care for, you could actually just go through telemedicine, and this will not go towards your deductible. It is a much lower cost in order to go through this provider rather than go to urgent care or ER, where the cost is going to be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This service does change from year to year, but the cost is typically around $50. So again, it is a much lower cost way to take care of some of the more common procedures that people would go to an urgent care or ER for. As a reminder, you have the ability to have a health savings account, or HSA, with the health insurance plans that are offered at Ottawa Dental Lab, and we put the updated amounts that you can contribute into those plans in 2025. And as a reminder, Ottawa Dental Lab does contribute to those. So you can see the amounts there. With health savings accounts, you have to be aware of the fact that you can only contribute certain amounts per year, but then it does accumulate over time. So it's not use it or lose it like some of the other accounts are. And it is your account, so whether you're at Ottawa Dental Lab or not, you get to keep the money in your own personal HSA account. All right, I promise I am in the home stretch, but we wanted to remind you guys you have an employee assistance program, or we'll refer to it as an EAP, that is 100% paid for by Ottawa Dental Lab. And this is for things that we all have in our life. So we want people to be aware of these programs and use them. We all have stress. We all have anxiety. We all go through things in our life that are tough, and we could use help. We could talk to a therapist or a counselor. So just know that you have up to 3 visits per employee per year, face-to-face or virtual counseling. And then these programs also help with additional things. You can see the things listed here like legal and financial assistance and ID theft. The other things listed on here are available. We want people to use this program. Here are some additional benefits: life insurance, short-term disability, long-term disability. These are things that are paid for you by Ottawa Dental Lab that are a very nice benefit to have. A lot of groups have gone away from providing these or paying for them. So we are happy to be able to keep these benefits for you guys, and you can see the benefits on the screen.
As a recap and reminder, Ottawa Dental Lab self-funds our health insurance, which means we own the health insurance as opposed to renting it. This means that we want to make sure people are using the partnerships that we have described in this presentation to make sure we're making intentional choices to get the right care at the right price, at the right place, at the right time, as we like to say. So the last reminder on this slide is that we will be using EASE, which is our online enrollment system that we have used in the past in order to go through the open enrollment process. Everyone will receive an open enrollment email that will give you a link that will get you to land on this login page where you will follow the prompts and go through the open enrollment system. We want to thank you for your time and attention during this open enrollment presentation, and from the leadership team at Ottawa Dental Lab and the team at Diamond Brothers Insurance. Thanks again, and please reach out if you have questions throughout this process.